Bonjour everyone, hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to be doing a sequel to my previous video about 2022 horror film X, and looking at its prequel also released in 2022, Pearl. A big surprise for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, as we got not one, but two fantastic horror movies from director Ty West in 2022. With X being released in spring, and Pearl preceding it in early fall, we managed to get two parts of a trilogy within the same year. That's an incredible achievement in itself, but also, both films were very positively received, and in my opinion, two of the best movies the genre has put out in recent memory. Later on, we'll get into what is potentially to come in the third installment of the franchise, Maxine. Firstly though, I would like to say that I very much appreciate the support that I've garnered so far. In the past month, it has just been a great start to 2023 as far as growth, and I look forward to improving and putting out new content on a regular basis. But for now, we got a very interesting and creative horror movie to break down, so let's get straight to it. The film takes place in 1918 and is located at the same farm we left at in X. Only this time it's a much more lively, colorful version of the decrepit and old broken down acreage we previously seen. The wildly fast turnaround between movies can be accredited to director Ty West and lead star Mia Goth, as they both clearly have a passion for this project that shines through. Within 3 weeks after wrapping X, they started production on Pearl. They smartly enough used the same sets and filming locations in New Zealand, as well as working with the production crew from Avatar: The Way of the Water during their breaks. Mia Goth and Ty West also wrote the screenplay together, and you can really see that shine through, as the development of Pearl as a character, as well as Mia Goth's performance, is just breathtaking. This movie somehow, despite so soon following up the 80s stylized slasher that is X, manages to be such a vastly different film. It's a heavy character piece stylized after the Technicolor era with films like Wizard of Oz. There's a lot of discussion online about the connection between this film and the Wizard of Oz. I won't be getting into that much as I'm not familiar with Oz, not having watched it for many years at this point. If that is something that piques your interest though, I implore you to go read about it online, as it could be really fun to see the comparisons between the characters and settings of this movie to the famed film of the 30s. Anyways, we follow Pearl on her journey to fame. As mentioned before, her and Maxine seem to be two sides of the same coin, and for a lot of this film, it feels the same way. While Maxine is working on her big break into the industry, determined for success, here we see Pearl's determination turn to desperation as she's met with failure. The first half of the film really is about Pearl's attitude towards life. Her parents are German immigrants, her father, stricken with illness at this point, is mostly in a vegetative state, and her mother is a hard-working, strict woman who just wants to lay low and make a life for them. She is technically the antagonist to Pearl for the first half of the film, being the one constantly telling Pearl to stop chasing her dream of being a star and doing what she can to help on the farm. Although she does come off a little harsh sometimes, you can't help but understand her lack of optimism, as for her, she's just trying to survive. Being a German living in America during World War I, as well as having your husband basically be taken away from you, having to take care of what's left of him, that's hard, man. On the other hand though, Pearl has a mindset that I'm sure resonates with a lot of people in the modern era. She's not happy with her environment, chasing dreams of becoming a star and moving on to better things. Her mother brings forth a very interesting point, however.
One day you'll understand that getting what you want isn't what's important. Making the most of what you have is.
This quote is dope because it's pretty much promoting the opposite of what Maxine is always saying.
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
But at the same time, it's technically putting forth the same mentality. I mean, yeah, you can be in a situation you didn't plan, but instead of making it a negative or running away, you can make the most out of it. In doing so, not accepting a negative lifestyle, or perhaps a life you do not deserve.
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
There is a ton of fun parallels between this and X throughout this film, including the characters. We meet a projectionist who ends up being a love interest for Pearl, and he's pretty much the same character as Wayne. Someone who is not working a 9 to 5, rather determined in using others in the film industry to make money. More specifically, the adult film industry, as he initially offers to take Pearl to Europe and become a star in that industry. Obviously, Pearl is excited by that proposition, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out. As well as that parallel, there is Pearl's sister-in-law Mitzi, who can be compared to Bobby Lynn. At least in Pearl's mind they can. To her, she feels as though opportunities pass her and are given to people like Mitzi and Bobby Lynn, as they are more what the social world is looking for. Younger and blonder, basically. This ideology is confirmed later, at least from the people she wanted to impress, as at the audition to become a stage girl, she is rejected.
We're looking for something different today. More all-American, younger and blonde.
What's also fun is both of the characters' deaths parallel their counterparts too. Both Wayne and the projectionist are killed with pitchforks, and then both Mitzi and Bobby Lynn are fed to the gator. All of the actors are fantastic, however, the star of the show really is Mia Goth. She puts in an award-winning caliber performance, and considering she has what feels like 99.9% of the screen time, you just never get bored. I was constantly in awe of the flawless job she did. Pearl is such an interesting character to follow. The main arc of her story seems to revolve around her determination for success, but it starts to get more terrifying as we slowly see the real issues shine through. She has sinister thoughts within her that she just can't seem to help, and we just get to watch as she reveals her true self. For the time period, the world wasn't as accustomed to the psychological introspection of humans. So for Pearl, someone who was very clearly mentally deranged, struggling with illness, being a sociopath amongst other things, her mother starts to pick up on these tendencies, leading to such a stunning, horrific, chilling dinner scene up there with the likes of Hereditary.
Don't you ever speak that way to me again, do you hear me?
Ruth is accidentally killed, and from here to the end of the film, Pearl is on a path there is no coming back from. She kills the projectionist once he realizes the underlying issues with her, she kills her father, and then she gets rejected at the audition and has a big breakdown.
Please, I'm a star! I'm sorry.
Then we're at the climax, and my god, as if Mia Goth hadn't already put in an amazing performance, we get the 6-minute unbroken monologue of Pearl just pouring all of her emotions and thoughts out, showing some Jeffrey Dahmer level psychotic disconnect from reality, while also giving very heartfelt and emotional retrospective on her life. The scene is Pearl sitting across from her sister-in-law, Mitzi acting as Pearl's husband Howard, letting her get all the feelings out since Howard has been gone at war.
I want what they have so badly. To be perfect. To be loved from as many people as possible to make up for all my time spent suffering.
It's truly a highlight of the film, and finally seeing Mitzi's reaction after that 6-minute rambling confession, it's fantastic. Of course, Pearl ends up killing her sister-in-law, mostly out of spite as she assumes Mitzi got the role at the audition. Whether she actually did or not doesn't really matter, as I'm certain she would have died either way, considering in Pearl's mind she had already determined that was her version of reality. We get a wonderful chase scene out of it too. I just love the way this was shot. This movie then ends in the most unsettling way possible, with Pearl setting up a family dinner accompanied by all the corpses. What's for dinner, you ask? Rotting pig, of course. Tasty. Howard returns to what I could imagine would be the only thing more horrific than war, and the final shot is a very uncomfortable credit sequence of Mia Goth putting on the most painful smile you'll ever see. So that was Pearl. As for Maxine, I have confidence it will be excellent as well. The films are catered around the themes of Hollywood and how filmmaking can have adverse effects on people. In X, we've seen the chase of that fame through Maxine and her mindset for success. In Pearl, we've seen the effects the failure of achieving the end goal to that mindset can have on you. And in Maxine, who knows? I would put forth that it would deal with the effects Hollywood can have on you after you reach the fame that you've been chasing, and possibly how it's changed you making it to the top. I look forward to taking a look at the third installment when it eventually arrives, but until then, I hope you had a fun time breaking down Pearl with me. Until next time, peace.